If you thought that heroics were the end of 5-man content in MoP Pandaria Classic, think again. Celestial dungeons are here. Harder fights, raid quality loot, legendary progress, and I'm going to be showing you exactly why you should be running them on day one. Celestial dungeons are Blizzard's new endgame 5-mans in MoP Classic, essentially Mythic 0 before Mythics existed. They use the exact same dungeons as heroics, but crank up the numbers and make mechanics actually matter. These didn't exist in original MoP Pandaria, so this is fresh, classic content. Blizzard admitted that Raid Finder has no place in MoP Pandaria, and so they pivoted to better content that gives the same loot, but with a difficulty that actually feels rewarding. So why exactly would you want to do Celestial Dungeons? Well, there's a long list. You get 476 eye-level loot, and you're not dealing with weekly LFR lockouts. You can run as many Celestial Dungeons as you want. Celestial Dungeons also drop Sigils of Power and Wisdom, allowing you to complete your legendary questline a lot quicker. Each boss kill, dungeon completion, first dungeon completion of the day, and daily Celestial Dungeon quest will reward you with August Stone Fragments, which you can trade in for the exact Celestial Dungeon loot you're after. Or you can buy Satchels of Celestial Chance, which give you lesser charms of good fortune, battle pets, and even a chance at rare mounts that are unique to MoP Classic. Celestial Dungeons are also a great catch-up method for any alts, or those of you who are starting MoP Classic a little bit late. It's nice to have harder hitting dungeons, but they're still pretty easy, so farming them shouldn't be an issue. And that's actually a great segue into the next thing I wanted to talk about. Are they difficult? Yes, but not bash your head against the wall difficult. On release, everyone queuing for Celestial Dungeons are likely over 460 eye level, but in a few months, I could see groups struggling to clear if they all entered with the minimum of 435. Boss mechanics will wipe you if you ignore them, and you need to take your time with trash pulls, but the pacing isn't that much slower than heroic dungeons. I would prepare to lock in for the first few dungeons, but after you've completed a couple, you're probably good to just sit back and chill. And a quick reminder, if you're enjoying the video, it helps my channel a lot if you smash that like button down below. Thank you in advance. Now, I want to talk about gear. I already mentioned that you need 435 average item level just to queue up. The fastest way to get your item level up on a new character is to go to the auction house and buy Contender Gear, which is the crafted blue PvP set. Multiple pieces should be available for less than 100 gold each, so you can pop that item level up pretty high for less than 1000 gold. The loot that you get inside Celestial Dungeons will be the 463 heroic gear from every boss, with a bonus 476 Celestial piece from the last boss. Each dungeon drops specific 476 pieces, so if you're hunting a specific one and you don't want to spend August Stone Fragments to buy it from the vendor, then make sure that you specific queue for that dungeon at least once a day for your lockout. You can get that dungeon more than once a day by queuing for random Celestial Dungeons. And if you've grinded your dailies for reputations, you get a good amount of Justice and Valor to be able to buy any sort of gear that you want from those vendors. So I also mentioned that every clear of a Celestial Dungeon is going to give you August Stone Fragments, and these are your wildcard currency. You can trade them in for a couple of things. For example, Celestial Gear. You can see on the vendor here that there's multiple pages of stuff to sort through, and unfortunately, it's not all specific to your class. So just click through the pages and eventually you'll find the piece that you're looking for. If you're looking for more Justice or Valor, you can also swap fragments for them. In the future, you'll be able to send fragments between characters, so you can farm dungeons on your main, then buy loot, Justice, Valor, and Satchels on your alts. And speaking of Satchels, Satchels of Celestial Chance contain pets, mounts, or lesser charms of good fortune. And just for the record, I've opened 8 satchels myself, and I got 2 battle pets, which both sold for 1000 gold each, and in all of the other 6 bags, unfortunately, I didn't get a mount, but I got between 8 and 17 lesser charms of good fortune. So just between those 6 satchels that gave me lesser charms of good fortune, I was actually able to turn in my bonus roll quest twice. If you already have all of your bonus rolls on your main, and you're trying to farm mounts or pets from the satchels, then open them on your alts. That way, you get the bonus rolls on them. Some of the mounts in the satchel are exclusive to MoP Classic. And outside of the unique new additions, I've also heard of reports from players getting Cloud Serpents and other MoP mounts. Keep in mind, you can only have 45 August Stone Fragments at one time. Now, if I were you, there's a couple more things that I would want to know about Celestial Dungeons before I just jumped right in. If you're a tank, take the Ox buff. If you're a physical DPS, take the Tiger buff. If you're a caster DPS, take the Dragon buff. And if you're a healer, take the Crane buff. Now, do you see this red circle? It's good. It's your healer's celestial buff, so don't avoid standing in it. Also, when you see a Calaxy do a Blade Storm that starts spitting daggers out, pop a defensive. When you see a Calaxy do a Tornado, run away from it. If you get in the center, you take a ton of damage. And when you see a Calaxy do a laser beam across the room, don't stand on the glowing floor. So basically, as always, don't stand in anything that looks bad, except for the red circle. Now, having completed about 20 Celestial Dungeons myself at this point, I wanted to give you some of my own thoughts about this update. Personally, I'm happy that Blizzard put in a system like this, because I absolutely hated Raid Finder. It was way too easy, and because of that, it just didn't feel engaging. You know, Celestial Dungeons aren't like doing a Mythic plus 20, but at the same time, they're a lot harder than LFR, and I appreciate that. I think Blizzard knows that players crave more difficult 5-man content, and I mean, you can clearly see that from retail with Mythic Plus. I'm personally really liking them, and I know that I'm going to be doing a lot more of them as I help friends and guildies gear up and catch up in Mists of Pandaria Classic. So if you're hyped about Celestial Dungeons, let me know why down in the comments, and also, which of these mounts look the best to you. If you like this video, smash that like button down below, and also share it with a friend that still needs to learn about Celestial Dungeons. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace!